everyone, my name is Naila Marley Medina, a student of Regional Literature for Javanese Literature from Universitas Indonesia. Welcome to my vlog, Preserving the Past, the Art of Communication in Javanese Manuscripts. Today, I'll take you through how ancient texts communicate across time, from vellum paper to digital preservation.
Before we measure time by notifications or printed words, the archipelago wove its knowledge into manuscripts. Scribes carved ideas into palm leaves, pressed meaning into bamboo, and breathed life into sheets of daluang. What they left behind is more than writing. It's a chain of conversation stretching across centuries. Now, the people who study and preserve these materials are called philologists. In Javanese literature at Universitas Indonesia, our department branches into three study paths: linguistics, literature, and philology. I personally chose linguistics, but linguistic tools like grammar, semantics, morphology, and discourse analysis become powerful lenses for studying manuscript text. So, even though I'm not a philology major, I still get to engage deeply with manuscripts through my own academic approach.
Today, I'm actually going to see some of the manuscripts from the archives of University of Indonesia.
Now I'm taking you into the manuscript archive room at Universitas Indonesia, a space that not everyone gets to enter. The collections here are extremely fragile, so the room is kept dark and carefully temperature controlled. Even a small amount of light can damage the materials. Inside, you'll find not only Javanese manuscripts but also Chinese, Korean, and other East Asian collections, even Egyptian hieroglyphs. UI also houses its own keris collection, making this room a quiet universe of cultural memory. Every manuscript here lived a different life. Some were guarded by families for generations, some rediscovered in old wooden chests, and some saved through initiatives like Rimzi, which digitizes endangered Southeast Asian manuscripts. To preserve these texts, philologists often travel directly to communities, negotiate access, build trust, and sometimes navigate local belief systems, what we call logika mistika. It reminds us that manuscripts' work is never just academic. It's cultural, emotional, and of course, deeply human. As part of our preservation class, we were assigned to help clean some of the manuscripts. It was delicate work. Some had mold, some were covered in dust.
Mold!
We used a soft brush and cleaned only in one direction. Never back and forth, because that could tear the fibers. A big brush might seem faster, but it's too harsh. Surprisingly, a soft makeup brush like a blush brush works perfectly for this kind of gentle cleansing. It was fun doing it together, but also a real lesson in how much discipline and care manuscript preservation requires. One of the oldest writing materials in the archipelago is daluang, traditional paper made from the bark of paper mulberry tree. It's durable, beautifully textured, and deeply rooted in indigenous knowledge systems. In our manuscript preservation class, we learned how to make daluang paper from scratch. First, we cut the bark and peel it layer by layer, trying to reach this soft inner layer that will eventually become the paper. Then we beat it so hard. We beat the fibers until they're flat and pliable. Once the texture is right, we gently pat the sheets to check for holes or weak spots before leaving it to dry. You know, seeing how much labor and precision goes into a single piece of daluang completely changed the way I view manuscripts. Every sheet began with hands, rhythm, and patience, long before it ever carried words. While waiting for our daluang sheets to dry, we were invited to try writing on lontar. You can inscribe anything: Kawi, Pegon, Balinese, Sundanese, Javanese, even Sanskrit if you're feeling fancy. I kept it simple and carved my name in Javanese. Writing on lontar is much harder than it looks.
Awas jatuh. Bolot, mutia Allah Akbar. Astagfirullahaladzim, mute.
You don't write, but you carve. After engraving the letters with a traditional stylus, we burned nutmeg and rubbed the soot into the grooves to make the writing visible. That soot acts like ink, preserving the text for hundreds of years. You know, it's actually surreal to think that someday, objects just like this could become materials for future philologists and scholars, just like the manuscripts we study today. Studying manuscripts has shown me that communication isn't only about language. It's about memory, identity, and how communities choose to preserve what matters to them. From Dalawang to the digital archives, our methods evolve, but the stories still remain. So, thank you for joining me on this journey into the world of Javanese manuscripts. I'm Naila Marinli Aura Medina, and I hope this inspires you to look deeper into the wisdom of our past. In the end, the art of communication isn't only about how we speak today, it's about how we listen to the past.